I'd love to hear a lot more about what actually piqued your interest, especially given the personal connections that you had, and like, what was your personal journey and inspiration for doing this?
So I am a pretty big feminist, and I have been doing a lot of activism work in the industry to get women more represented, and I was writing so many scripts that weren't getting made, and you hear actresses say, there aren't any good parts for me. And then you would hear the Bechdel test, and you think, well, yeah, women are always just talking about men. Well, that's not what I do all day. I've got my man in control. I mean, I love him dearly. And so, he really is a great man. I'm sorry, honey. So, when I saw this, I thought, okay, 3 female leads talking about math and science. They're black. So we've got crazy diversity. And I love NASA. I love that this happened there. I love that they broke down barriers first. And I love a story of hope. I think there's a lot of negativity right now, and there's a lot of hate right now. And to be reminded of a time in our history that was really dark, and to see people coming together for a common good and lifting each other up and doing the right thing, I think we need more of. And Hollywood, often for movies like this, it goes very dark, right? And they're kind of depressing, these awards movies. It's hard for me to get through a few of them. And I don't think movies like this are made that often, where it's a little cheesy at times, perhaps, but it's a feel-good movie. And when you cry, if you cry, I hope they're happy tears. And if you feel the need to applaud at some moment, please feel free to do so, because it's scene after scene of sort of triumph and victory and overcoming odds, and I think we need more of that. And Katherine Johnson's still alive, so the lead.
98 years old.
Yeah, 98. And her request to give up her life rights was that it couldn't just be about her, that she felt like too much focus was being placed on her, and there were so many other women. And she said Dorothy Vaughan was the smartest woman she ever met, which if Katherine's saying that, Dorothy was pretty smart. And so from the beginning, it was always these 3 women. It was always the arcs you see in the film, and it was always them lifting each other up. I don't think there is a single moment in the film where they stab each other in the back or they put the other one down, and I think that was definitely a conscious effort, you know? And so I've said from the beginning, it's a bit of my love letter to feminism. It's a bit of a love letter to all my female friends, and to diversity and reclaiming history. I hope we did it.
Katherine is an incredible, inspiring figure in this movie.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned when we spoke earlier you hadn't met her, but you did actually have conversations with her on the phone. I'd love to hear more about what those conversations were about, and how she influenced your thinking as you were developing the script.
I was never allowed access to Katherine, so it all had to go through the author. So I would give the questions to the author, and then the author would go ask her and come back to me. But the main things were her humility. So she's like, I don't know what all the fuss is about. All I did was just keep showing up. And it's like, that's actually a really big deal. To keep showing up when people are treating you this way is huge. And I don't think we give enough weight or importance to that. And she says, well, you know, I was never outspoken. I just kept asking politely. And it's like, yeah, you did. And you, every day, I don't want to ruin the movie, but there's a scene where she keeps asking to get into a meeting. And in real life, this really happened. And she just waited in that hallway day. And it's this, could I come to the meeting today? Could I come for like months? And finally, her boss was just like, oh, for God's sakes, like get in the room. And so when you see that in the film, like it's true. And it's not, I mean, what we're used to seeing in a Hollywood film. This is a much more subtle movie about racism and sexism and standing up for yourself. But I think it's more true to what we actually experience in the world. So that was her big thing, and she was humble. She had quiet dignity. Taraji nails all her mannerisms. And then also doing, honoring her marriage was very important, because he was a wonderful man and incredibly supportive.